Hey, what's up everyone? Welcome back to my kitchen for another video. My name is Derek from Simnett Nutrition, and today I'm super excited to share with you guys this amazing veggie stew recipe. So it is that time of the season where I'm sure a lot of us are craving warming dishes, and this is absolutely perfect. It's really easy to make. You can make it in huge batches, so it's great for like batch cooking or meal prepping, and it is so nutritious and so good. I can't even tell you guys. You're gonna love this one. It's really easy. It doesn't take a lot of skill. It does take a little bit of time though. It probably takes just over an hour or so in the kitchen to make it start to finish. But when you have like 6 meals worth of food out of it, I think it's worth it. So let me show you guys everything that I put in here, how we make it, and yeah, and then at the end, I'm gonna taste it, let you guys know how it is. Okay, got it. First thing you're gonna need to do is get a big pot to cook everything in. So yeah, you want it to be nice and big and have a big flat bottom because we are gonna be sauteing some stuff on the bottom. So here's everything we need to chop up for the first part of this recipe. So we've got 4 medium-sized potatoes, 4 pretty good-sized carrots, we've got 1 red onion, and 4 sticks of celery. And then once you've got everything chopped up, it's ready to go into the big soup pot. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be hard. All right. And then you're gonna wanna add some low sodium vegetable broth to this to help it kind of like cook and steam and everything. So I'm gonna just add a little bit of this, maybe a couple tablespoons, and then just mix everything around. So you want to kind of steam / saute this for about 10 to 15 minutes, and just every few minutes add a little bit of veggie broth and just mix it up. So that's the first step. And next we're going to prepare some of the seasonings, and we might as well do that while we wait. Man, this is too close. All right, so with the spices and the seasonings, this is what's going to give the dish like a lot of its flavor. So you really want to use the best quality seasonings and spices as you can. So we've got some really nice local garlic here. This stuff is amazing. But we're also lucky enough to have some rosemary, thyme, and bay leaves growing in our garden. But if you don't have those growing in your garden, you could totally get them dried as well. It'd be totally fine. So I'm gonna start by chopping up these 4 big cloves of garlic. So I'm sure you guys know this smash technique by now, but if you just put a knife flat onto the garlic clove and then you just smash it with the back of your hand, it kind of cracks it, makes it really easy to get this little garlic peel off. And just to keep the cutting board nice and neat and everything kind of tidy here, I'm just going to be adding all the seasoning to one bowl so I can just add it all at the same time. So don't forget about this while you're getting the seasoning ready because it'll burn and stick to the bottom. So next I'm going to add about a tablespoon of this chopped oregano. No, that is rosemary. I'm going to chop up this rosemary. We need 1 tablespoon of chopped rosemary. I want to make sure this is like chopped up pretty good, otherwise you just have like sticks in your meal. All right, close enough for me. If you really love rosemary, you can get to that full tablespoon, but that's good enough. Next we've got the thyme. If only I had the thyme. Well, now I do have the thyme, and I'm gonna chop it up. That's a terrible joke. Cool thing about all these herbs is like, they're actually really good for us, along with like tasting really good. So it's definitely a good thing to be adding these to your meals as much as you can. Man, do I even need to chop? Look how small those leaves are. Do I even chop this? No, I'm gonna chop it anyways. Oh man.
You gotta go outside to get more.
Okay, BRB. All right, back. And I've got some more thyme. Man, I'm breathing really hard. I'm gotta work on my cardio. I can't even run out to the garden and back. Okay, now we are ready to put this stuff in, but I'm not ready measuring it. I'm not done measuring it out yet. And then just shy of a tablespoon of thyme. I'm gonna be totally transparent with you guys. But we're not gonna skimp on the full tablespoon of garlic powder. Oh no, come on! I like how it kind of rang the bell.
Yeah, that's kind of nice.
And then 1 tablespoon of onion powder. This is kind of like onion granules, but it's all the same kind of. Oh, this one doesn't. This one didn't get a label. Okay, this is, well, whatever. This is ginger, I think. Yeah, that's ginger. So we're doing a teaspoon of ginger. We have such a feeble amount of black pepper left, but I think it's gonna be just fine. So add it to your taste. You know, some people like more, some like less. I'm adding just shy of a teaspoon of black pepper. So I'm actually going to be adding a teaspoon of these coriander seeds. Now, if you don't like coriander, you don't have to add this. The first couple times I was testing this recipe, I actually didn't add these, and it was quite good, but the last time I did, and I really enjoyed it. So 1 teaspoon of coriander seeds. All right, so next we have just straight leaves, eh? Next we have bay leaves. And I honestly didn't, when I was like growing up, I honestly thought my parents were trying to kill me by putting these in the stew, you know? Like, you'd just be eating, everything would be like totally edible and soft, and then you come across one of these like lodged in your throat. You're like, Mom, what the heck are you trying to do to me here? And then everyone on the table's like, oh, you're the lucky one. You got the bay leaf. I'm like, I need Heimlich. Anyways, they actually do add a good amount of flavor. So if you don't have them, don't worry about it. But they do add a really nice, like, sort of deep flavor to the dish. You can read all about it online, because I did, because I was actually like, do I even want to add these? Do they even do anything? But yeah, no, they totally do. So I'm just gonna like rip them in half. What, do I even lift? Like, what is wrong with me? So I am going to be adding some salt towards the end. However, I'm not going to be adding any right now, because I kind of find if you add it during the cooking process, it just kind of gets lost and you don't taste it that much. And sometimes when you cook something, at the end of it, and you're done cooking it, you taste it, you're like, hey, this doesn't even need any salt. So I'm going to wait to the end to add some salt. There is a little bit in the veggie broth as well. So, you know, we're getting some flavors going here. All right, so now it's time to add this madness to the big pot. So when I add these, I kind of like to make a little spot sort of in the bottom of the pot so that these actually like touch the heat, because that's what like tends to bring out a lot of the flavors of these herbs. So yeah, I just fired it in the furthest corner from the camera, so Crystal probably can't see it, but it's in there.
Just straight foliage.
I know, it's just like, what is this crazy vegan meal? Like, there's actually leaves in here? So once you get all that stuff in there, you just want to saute it for about 5 more minutes. And just mix it around every once in a while, you know, show it a little love. And it's at this point where your house is going to start smelling like amazing, and people are going to start coming to the kitchen being like, what are you cooking? Give me some of that. So after the herbs and spices have been sauteing for about 5 minutes, this is when you want to add the majority of the broth or the stock. So you want to add around 8 cups of liquid. And if you don't have vegetable broth, you could use something like bouillon cubes, or this, what we're going to be using as well, is like better than bouillon, it's called. Like, if you can use better than bouillon, why would you even use bouillon? So anyways, I'm just gonna do half and half. So I'll be doing 4 cups of the vegetable broth, and then I'll do 4 cups of water mixed with the appropriate amount of better than bouillon. There we go. It's 5 minutes. Ready to add the broth right now. It's perfect timing. How do you even stop this? And I know you could probably make your own broth. I know a lot of people recommend that in the comments whenever I'm making, or whenever I'm using broth for one of my recipes. But yeah, I've tried that before, and I don't know, it just tasted like dirty, like veggie water. It was not the same as this, but maybe I did something wrong. So that's 4 cups. We're halfway there. Whoa, we're halfway there. Whoa, better than bouillon. It's like I always got to add a song now, eh? After the little tempe piano, people are expecting a little song and dance from me. We got basic stock directions. Yo, I ain't basic. So, should I try this? Actually, I'm kind of curious to see what it tastes like on its own. Ooh, it's actually not that bad. All right, so now what we want to do is we want to crank that puppy up. So many dings, eh? I loved it. So next we want to cover that, and we want to cook that just like that. We want to simmer away for 20 minutes.
20 minutes later.
All right, so next we are going to get some other stuff ready. So we're going to be adding some barley to this. So if you guys aren't familiar with barley, like, it is an amazing grain. It's not a gluten-free grain, so if you did want to make this gluten-free, you could use something like rice or lentils instead. Quinoa would probably even work, but man, barley is so good. It's got this like really chewy texture to it, and when you put it in like soups and stews, it just creates like just the best texture, really good taste as well. It kind of soaks up all the flavors. So I'm gonna be using, it was supposed to be a cup of this, but I've got a lot more in here and I'm just gonna use it up. But in the recipe in the description below will be 1 cup. However, feel free to add more if you really like barley, like I do. And then I also have 2 cups of frozen corn. And then I'm also going to be adding a couple cans of these navy beans. So I'm gonna show you how I do these, because usually I like rinse my beans, but with these, all I do is just pour off some of that kind of goopy liquid. Ugh. Usually I will not use this stuff, but in this recipe it's going to be good because it's going to actually help us, help it like all thicken and yeah, be really nice. And I actually learned that there's a lot of nutrition that's in this liquid that's in the beans. So if it works with the recipe and you don't have to pour it out or, you know, rinse them, then yeah, you want to use that. Okay, so we've got all that stuff ready. However, before we put that in, first, this is kind of like a magic part of this whole thing. So you don't want to, ow, just burn myself. So you actually want to take out about 4 cups of this cooked mixture and blend it, because this is what's going to help make it stew-like. If you don't do this, then it's going to be more soup-like, and that's not what we're going for. So now that it's all blended up, just right back into the pot. And then now we just add this stuff. So the 2 cups of corn, the barley. All right, and then you just want to stir it up really well, make sure everything's nicely mixed, and you want to continue to simmer this for another 20 minutes.
20 minutes later.
Let me just turn that off. So last thing I'm gonna do is just add 2 cups of frozen green peas. So the reason why I'm adding them right at the end here is because they don't really need much cooking. They're already cooked, and if you want to keep them nice and bright and green, you don't really want to cook them for too long. So it's pretty much done. We just have to wait for those peas to thaw and it's ready to eat. So you guys might have noticed that it looks a little thin. You're probably thinking, Derek, that looks a little soupy. What's going on? It will turn into a stew. So once it starts to cool down and set a little bit, it definitely thickens up and turns into a stew. I just grabbed this one out of the fridge, and this was the test batch that I made yesterday. So this is how much it thickens up. So yeah, I'm actually gonna taste this right now. But we know stuff like this just gets better and better as the days go on. Of course, there's a point where it's gonna get worse, you know, but you're probably gonna eat it before that. So you could add whatever you want to this. Like, this is just what I came up with. It was just like a bunch of the stuff that we had in the house the day that I was making it. So yeah, I just kind of threw it all together. But you know, feel free. You could add some like shredded Brussels sprouts or something in there if you wanted. You could add cabbage, would be really good as well. I don't know, you name it. If you guys have any other suggestions, the things you'd like to see in this stew or that you're gonna add to it, put it in the comments down below and maybe I'll put it in there the next time I make it too. All right, so it is all done, and yeah, that is a big pot of stew. All right, so I'm just gonna taste it first really quickly, just before I plate it up, just to make sure that I don't need to make any last minute adjustments. So I haven't added any salt to this yet, so I'm gonna just taste it, see how it is, and then I'll probably be adding a little bit of salt, but we'll see. Whoa, okay, it's really good. Like, I almost feel like it doesn't need that much salt. Like, anyways, I'm gonna add some. This is just a little bit better with salt. I'm just gonna add a couple pinches of salt. So yeah, as I mentioned, great for like batch cooking or meal prep or whatever. And yeah, we've been eating this for like the last 4 or 5 days now, probably, because I've been like recipe testing, but I have not got tired of it yet. And man, I've been having it for like breakfast even. It's so good. So yeah, I'm just gonna plate it up right now. And you guys know I always like to squeeze in some extra greens into my meals. So I think I'm actually going to put some greens into the bottom of the dish here first, and then add that on top. So because the stew is so hot, it's gonna actually like wilt these greens down quite a bit. So you'll just probably be able to mix them right in, and you'll hardly even notice them. And then I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot sauce to this. I enjoy hot sauce, you guys know that by now, and find it adds a nice flavor to this. So a little hot sauce on there, some green onions. So I'm just gonna mix this up now and see if all those greens have kind of wilted down, and yes, they definitely have. And oh man, look how good this looks. Well, I'm sure there's some people out there right now that are like thinking that does not look good to me. But for those that know, you guys know how good this is gonna be. Oh yeah, look at that. It looks so good with all those greens. All right, so I'm gonna taste it and let you guys know how it is. I mean, I know it's good. I've been eating this for the last like week, but I'll do it on camera so we know for sure. Wow, man. And like, if you think about everything that's in here, like, does it even get more healthy than this? There's everything in here is good for you. It's amazing. All the herbs and spices and, you know, all the veggies and the barley and the potatoes and everything. Man, I love this. I'm gonna be making this lots this winter. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you got something out of it. For sure, definitely hit the like button if you did. Subscribe so you can see more from me, and leave some comments in the comment section down below. What did you guys think of this recipe? What do you want to see me make next? So I hope you guys are all doing well out there. I know the times are weird. Sometimes all we need is a bowl of stew to make us feel a little bit better. All right, I'll see you guys in another video soon. Take care. Bye-bye. I'm just gonna stand right here and eat this whole bowl. Oh my gosh. I got the bay leaf. Lucky me.